Hey, welcome to the Relentless Positive Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Martin, and here's a common question I get. How long will it take to see results? And here's my answer. It depends on the result you're looking for. I know it's a terrible answer. Nobody wants to hear, but it's the truth. Because here's a general breakdown based on scientific evidence and my 25 plus years of experience. So weeks 1 to 2, you're going to feel better before you see change. You'll feel better before you start to see visual changes. You have more energy, better mood, and your sleep's going to improve. Those are often the first things you're going to see. Weeks 3 and 4, typically strength and endurance begin to noticeably improve. Your workouts feel a little bit smoother, recovery gets faster. And then into weeks 5 and 6, you're going to see some visible body changes start kicking in. Clothes fitting a little bit better, you have a little bit better posture, your muscle tone feels a little bit better, maybe a little more solid. And then friends and family start to notice. That's kind of where you're looking for. So you can't quit 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to get at least 5, 6 to see the visuals. So, and then weeks 8 to 12, this is where the transformation really happens. And the fat loss, the muscle definition, the lifestyle changes are all coming together if you stay consistent. Because you can't expect to overhaul your body in 1 week, which if you go to a gym in January, you'll see that's kind of what people are hoping for, but it's not happening. But also don't underestimate the power of a small, consistent action if you do it consistently. That's a word that keeps coming up, right? Almost every week on this podcast. They don't come up, results don't show up for going hard for 7 days, no matter how hard you go. If you quit after that, it's not going to matter, right? They show up when you keep showing up again and again, even if it's not perfect, but you keep showing up. So if you need help staying consistent, that's what I'm here for. If you need help, always reach out. But let's get you the results at last. Let's get you, now that we have this timeline, let's figure out a path forward. We need a smooth path. Segue, because I was in Washington, D.C. recently, so I've been on a bit of a history kick. So do you know that President Dwight Eisenhower's experience in the dangerous, broken down roads of Europe during World War II, which he was a big part of, inspired him to create our U.S. Interstate Highway System? That was a really long sentence. I lost a little oxygen there. He saw firsthand how bad roads slowed progress, it created unnecessary risk, and made every journey harder than it needed to be. So when he became president, he made it a priority to build a better system, one that would make travel faster, safer, and easier for everybody. And it's the same idea when it comes to your health and fitness. You need the same thing. If you're working towards weight loss, getting stronger, feeling better in your body, it's not just about trying harder. It's about building a smoother road. And here's how we're going to start paving your way to a smoother road. The first thing you want to do, get the roadblocks out of the way. That makes sense, right? Get the overcomplicated diets out of it. Get those that leave you frustrated. Get those out of the way. The workouts that don't fit your lifestyle, the ones you dread doing, or the ones that cause joint pain, even if they're very effective, but if it's killing your joints, don't do them. Get rid of the negative self-talk and get rid of unrealistic expectations. We kind of got into that a little bit about the expected results. So, and then get rid of that critical voice in your head that says you're too old or it's too late or too this, too that. Tell that guy to be quiet, sit down, get out of that roadblock. Then we want to add in some support lanes. Put in some simple, sustainable meals that fuel your body. Strength training that builds you up, not beats you down. Get some encouragement, some accountability, some realistic milestones. And then also a support system that believes in you, especially on those days when you don't believe in yourself. You're not, just like Eisenhower didn't want to rely on old broken roads to move forward. You don't either. You don't have to fight through a system that isn't working for you. You want to find an easier path and a faster and more confident way to reach your goals with fewer aches and pains and a lot more victories along the way. It is possible. You don't have to battle your way to better health. You can build that better way. You create a life where energy and strength and confidence, they're right there waiting for you. And you can just clear the road, light the path, and let's chase that life you absolutely deserve. And you can get it if you stay consistent and stay on that road. Get those roadblocks out of the way, make it smooth, and let's keep going. Have a great week.